My name is Michael. I'm practicing in Sandgate. I've been out, I think this is my 5th year now. Just working in private practice. Yeah, so a lot of the clinic does mostly sort of general family dentistry, and I've had a few patients now that have asked sort of for more cosmetic procedures. And because I didn't really have a mentor per se, this is something that I just wanted to sort of dip my toes in and see, I guess, what I could learn and get the first steps going, in a sense.
That's great to hear.
The biggest takeaway from the last day and a half is that there's so much there is to cosmetics, but I think what I really appreciate from Sam is that he's really broken it down, I guess, as simply as he can. So despite me not having any experience, I feel like it at least for a straightforward case, I feel like I could tangibly perform that.
Okay, nice.
And I think I know sort of what I need to continue to work on and what potentially I have a handle on. Yeah, so I think just like the little tips and tricks. I know that there's some techniques that I've experimented in the past before for other stuff like split dam that just never worked in my hands. But the little tip that Sam gave about leaving like a little bit, putting it on first and then trimming it, just made it a lot easier to sort of visualize, and just sort of little things that I probably didn't even think about, I wouldn't have learned until I made a mistake. I think Sam helped to highlight that. I think the hands-on, as much as I really felt like we got thrown into the deep end, which I think is the purpose of the exercise, is that even though I found it really challenging, I think by the end of it, like I said sort of earlier, it's a simpler case. If that comes up, I think I've already done the worst of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think this is one of the other things that drew me to the course, was that a lot of courses that I looked at were very like, typical typodont, very stock standard teeth, almost picture perfect. But I guess in clinical practice, that is almost never the case. So I think the idea of being able to prep a more realistic case, one that's actually based off of a real case that Sam does and demonstrates throughout the lectures, I think I found that was very helpful. What we did over the last day and a half was we prepped, we did the mock-up, or at least the mock-up was done for us, but we placed the mock-up temps onto 5 to 5, and then we prepped 4 to 4, basically got it all ready for scanning, and then now we've got the cementation to do after lunch. I think that was the other thing, was that they actually made the veneers overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're here till 7:30 prepping, scanning. I think as a lecturer, he's really engaging and very easy to listen to. And then in terms of as an actual giving you feedback on the preps, he does have, at least from my perspective, a very high standard, which is something that I definitely appreciate, because I want to know where I can improve. But at the same time, he's also very supportive, and I think what I appreciated was that he gave me a lot of encouragement on sort of how close I was to where we needed to be, and helped me out in that regard. And I think that, I guess that supportiveness helped build a bit of confidence. Prep a veneer. Yeah, I guess it's my first time actually learning how to prep it, and I think up until now I was just very afraid to do so. Because I think whenever I would do a crown, I feel like I'd be too aggressive. So I think that's what held me back, was that a veneer prep I know should be a lot more conservative.
Awesome.
But with what I've done over the last day and a half, definitely, I'm more confident then. I would say, if you're worried about any part of the procedure, then, you want someone with experience to walk you through it and sort of flag out things to look for. Definitely, this is what I would look to do. What I'd recommend.
I appreciate that so much. Thanks for that, Michael.
All good. Thank you, John.